It looks like you're connected to audio.
Hey, you can hear me?
Yep, you're coming through loud and clear. You're good.
Excellent. How's everything today, man? Long time.
Oh, I know, right? It's good. It's good. I can't complain. It's a beautiful
Okay, okay.
day. My wife agreed to take the kid to school this morning so I could do this. All's
Nice.
well. Yeah, it's not a bad thing.
Nice.
Not a
So
bad thing.
what was the deal? What was the deal for her doing that? I know it had to be some type of deal. Now I'm just
Mostly that I agree to do the asparagus on the grill tonight for dinner.
nice.
So
Nice.
that's my bribe, I
I knew it
guess.
was something.
Yeah, there's always something. Happy wife, happy life, though. So
Exactly.
that's how it
Exactly.
works. Let
Absolutely.
me just make sure Joe is getting on. I was texting with him a few minutes ago because he was having issues with his login.
Yeah, he's the one that told me remind me about the meeting.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, Joe's awesome.
I'm kind of I don't know I don't want to say regret, but kind of should have went to that last meeting you guys was at. I heard it was pretty good, and um, what was her name? Michelle was there. I actually wanted to meet her. I never officially met her in person. I just talked to her on the phone a couple of times, but
Oh, Michelle
uh,
Wheeler?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yep, she's awesome. Alex was there. Um, I don't know. We do meetings there's like 4 or 5 meetings a month, but really usually Alex and Michelle show up to the general meeting and once in a while to this meeting, but not super often.
Nice. Yeah,
Yep.
I heard it was pretty interesting. But I got a recap of it, but I guess I'll try to make. I ended up being sick, believe it or not. I haven't been sick in about 2 or 3 years, and all of a sudden, boom, got
Ah,
sick.
that's the worst, especially when it's nice. Like the weather's been
Exactly.
amazing. The weather's been
Yeah.
amazing for all of the meetings
Yep.
recently. So that's all
Kids
right.
got sick too, and I think it
Oh
started
wow.
from my freaking barber. He said he randomly got sick, and I'm just saying to myself, my immune system is great. I haven't been sick in a while, so I went and saw him. And then literally a couple of days later, that's when I felt kind of sick. I'm just like feeling my throat tingling. I'm like,
Oh
no,
no.
no, I got this. And then all of a sudden, boom.
Wow. Wow. That's
Right.
not good.
But I'm good now. So everything is all good. So
Awesome. Good. I'm glad you're feeling better.
yeah.
Well, we got this one today. Next Thursday, in the evening, we've got the general meeting and it's gonna be um creative finance panel. So we're gonna have a hard money lender, a broker, and a um flipper, I think, or rehabber.
Okay.
Um, and then it starts at like 5:30. It'll go until
About 8 or 9.
usually, but I mean the actual meat of the meeting, the actual like speaker panel doesn't start till 7 and they'll be done by 7:30, 7:45, depending on how long Q&A goes. So
Okay. Okay. And that's this Thursday? I mean,
that's next Thursday.
next
Yeah.
Thursday, I mean.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That'll be next Thursday.
Okay.
Joe.
Same spot, or is it a different location?
This is the last time that the general meeting will be at Da Vinci's.
Okay.
So I guess I'll turn my camera on. Oh crap, I forgot my coffee. I'll be right back.
Thank you, Andy.
Yeah, buddy, no problem.
Joe,
What
what's
the
up,
heck?
man?
How you guys doing?
How are you?
Much better now. I was like, okay, it's 8:15. I got 45 minutes. Let me see if I can have a problem trying to get onto the Zoom meeting this morning. I hate computers.
Damn.
And thanks to Andy, who sent me a link. For some reason, well, I don't know. I gotta have my assistant do something with trying to help me log on or something. I don't know. So I'm here because of Andy. So I had to thank him.
Yo, that sounds like a slogan for a shirt. I'm sure it'll sell out. I'm here for Andy.
I'm here for Andy. Oh my god. I was like, oh, I got it. Now I got to text Andy. I feel like a little kid. Like, Daddy, I can't get on. Can you help me? That's exactly what he did. I
Oh
was, okay,
God.
hold on.
I
And
just sat back down. What are we talking about? Are you telling
You
stories
right,
again?
see?
I'm trying to make money over here. I said we got a good slogan going on for a T-shirt. I'm here for Andy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh man, it's the reason why I was able to even get on the call.
You know what you got to do now, Joe? It's the same link for every meeting. Just create a calendar invite and put it as the location, and then you can just click the button.
I'm done. I'll
You're
just
killing me,
keep
Smalls.
re-forwarding the email to myself.
There you go. That's the way to do it. That works too.
Okay. I mean, I'm like, so as far as for like a calendar, okay, you know, this is my calendar, okay.
Yeah, I can't do that. I used to do that, and I struggled hard until the electronic thing in my pocket took over.
No way. I can't even. Oh no, I'm old school.
Well,
I feel like I use a stone tablet.
At least you know you can't lose any words off it unless you lose the whole entire thing.
Oh
It's
my
truth.
God, please. I worry about that. I'm gonna like put a chain on it.
Morning, Gabe.
Morning, guys. How are you?
Good, buddy. How are you?
Very good. Very good.
Gabe, how are you doing, brother?
What's going on, Joe?
Oh, it's you know, it's been a heck of a week. It's actually, today's the first.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, buddy. New month.
Don't go grocery shopping.
Oh man, don't go Oh. Or go to the bank. Oh man.
Oh my gosh. Yes, don't go to the bank today either.
Oh my God. No.
I filled my freezer up. What was that? What is this? I want to say that was last Friday.
There you go.
Everything's filled up to the top now, so I'm good for a couple of months.
That's the way to do it.
Yes, sir.
So
I got local butcher shop down the road from me, so I fill my freezer about once every 2 years with a half a cow.
Yeah, I'm
And a
waiting
pig.
to I'm waiting to get the bucks going up so I can get the Kim Kardashian walk-in refrigerator. You
All
seen
right,
that?
that's a little over the top. Yes.
I haven't even seen that. I don't think I've ever watched one
ridiculous.
episode of that show.
I've never watched it, but it was on like a review of like
Correct.
Cribs or
That's
something like that.
That's the only reason I
my
know.
God.
It came up on this whatever, like a review, and I'm like, what the hell? She has a walk-in refrigerator. Like it looks like a grocery store. I like the deli
Well,
Wait,
market.
she's got a walk-in cooler, you mean? Like at a restaurant?
Yeah, I kid you not. I cannot make this up. I cannot make this up.
What the hell does she need that for?
Listen,
Who
it's all
knows?
possible in real
It's all
estate.
ice cream and dairy, and then she got the fruits and vegetables going on, and all. I'm just like, wow, okay.
Was she going there and rotating it like Rita used to do all this stuff? And like,
Come on, this is
and
Kim.
label them?
No. Nobody
Wow.
does that. Maybe
Yeah.
her chef does that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If anything, she's taking a selfie right now.
Oh gosh.
Probably multiple.
Oh man.
Either that or she's getting more freaking Botox in her lips to make them swell up to
Exactly.
balloons.
Yep. Or trying to figure out the next victim.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, you know who it's gonna be? The third speaker. It's gonna be Brett McManus. So that's cool.
Wait, so who's? Are you talking about?
So the meeting next Thursday, it's a creative finance panel. So we got Daquan from Quickline, Seth Foltz as the broker, and Brett McManus is going to be the guy talking because I guess he officially replaced his entire W-2 income over the last 12 months.
Awesome.
So
that's what I'm talking
Brett.
about.
Yeah,
I'm trying to do that.
I didn't realize that he was that far along. That's awesome.
Actually, fantastic. Holy smokes.
I just actually had to go back to corporate America. I just had to pick something up, unfortunately. But
It happens. Best laid plans, brother.
That's okay, because I've seen people try to do real estate right off the bat without the job, and they force themselves to make a deal work, and then they end up putting themselves in a really bad position. Oh.
I think I got something that's just I listened to your advice as far as like stretching and stuff, and I really manifested it and thought about it. I'm like, yeah, I don't think I want to stretch this. I mean, if anything, I can try to find something a little cheaper, but it's as far as this competitive market, you're only going to go so far. So if I still close on this one property, at least I'll have it, but it's going to delay me a little bit because of the funds. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just go back to corporate America, even if it's for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, and just get something in, and then, get this property up and running, renting it, and then refinance and go from there. See how it goes.
It'll make your life a lot less stressful.
Yep, absolutely.
It's just, oh, man. We're gonna have a light crowd probably this morning, I would assume. I know a couple people texted me. I don't know if Quinn's on or not. He was trying to get on.
Quinn's on.
Perfect.
Shakana? I can't pronounce that. I'm so sorry.
Shaquana.
Oh, I got close.
Shaquana.
Hey, fellas.
I got close.
Yeah, hey, fellas, I'm here. Quinn is on.
Hey,
then
Quinn. Good to
John
have you.
Mason just
Joe.
hopped in. Are
What's
we going to
happening?
see Scott?
I talked to him last night, and he says I'm going to try. But over there where he's at right now, it's what, 5? It's about
Yeah,
5
it's early.
in the morning, 5:55 a.m.
No, he's in
Crazy
Utah
early.
right now, so it's 7 a.m. right now.
He's in Utah.
Yeah.
Wait, he made it to Utah? Why did I not see
Yeah.
that? All right, cool.
Oh man, so if it's 7,
He's got no
man,
excuse.
His
Exactly.
butler probably hasn't woken him up yet.
Rub those sleepy seeds out of the eyes, Scotty.
He said he's going to try, or he might be a little bit late. I didn't realize it was in Utah. I thought he was still in California.
Yeah, so did I.
He was in Death Valley last time I saw. But I didn't get a chance to really. I talked to him a couple of times yesterday, but just very, very, very briefly. He had terrible reception.
Yeah. Cut off on me too when I was talking to him this week. I'm like, where the hell did he go? I'm like, and then he never called me back. So
Nah,
Was it-
that
Yeah,
must not have
no.
been that important, Gabe.
yeah.
Yeah, he texted me, I think around midnight, 12:30. And he goes, "Are you up?" And I was like, no, I was so exhausted. I said, I gotta go to bed. I gotta be up in a few hours. So,
It's funny.
but we'll
Yeah.
all right, we'll get started here. I don't know. Scott may join us, who knows? If he does join us, then he's still early for being late. So he's still okay. So
That's how it works now.
yeah.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right. Well, we'll get started over here. I don't know if there's some new people on there. If you're just joining us, this is the alternative meeting. It stands for Alternative Real Estate Investment Association. Basically, everything having to do with real estate except for tenants and toilets. We keep this very, as you can see, very personable. It's not like we have an agenda with everything. We want to be able to learn and be able to bounce stuff off of each other.
I don't have to yell to get everybody in the room, which is great.
Yeah, I know. You've got a deep voice out there. That's a great voice you have for doing that, Andy, too. It's fantastic. Without a microphone. It's unbelievable. Basically, Scott Spear, some of you don't know, Scott's actually a guy, he may join us in a little bit. Because of real estate, he now travels. He's from Rochester, was able to quit his job. He was in residential. Now he owns storage. I don't know. He's got between 12 and 15 of them. I don't even know how many, but he travels around the country in a big RV, which I call his mansion on wheels. And we never know where the heck he is, but it allows him the freedom to be able to do whatever the heck it is he wants. He left 2.5 years ago. He said, I don't know if it'll be a month, 6 months, or a year, but it's been 2.5 years now. So sometimes he's supposed to be on here with us, but sometimes where he's at signal-wise doesn't always work, but he may join us. Okay. If you go on the FREIA website, you'll see his bio. You can take a look, see what's going on, connect with him and everything else, and follow his adventures. There is going to be a next Thursday morning. There's going to be a landlord meeting. And I think that is, Andy, that's at Ezzy's, right? On Buffalo.
Still
Road.
at Ezzy's, yeah. Yeah, they haven't changed that location.
Yeah. It'll be 8:30 in the morning. Somewhere right around, it starts at 9 o'clock. Now I know Beth Gallagher and Pat Gallagher got back 2 days ago they spent 3 months in Florida.
Which is awesome. Good for them.
Yep. Why? Real estate.
Mm-hmm.
They're right here from Rochester. They actually, they also run that meeting with Bob Napier and with Carl Weeks. Beth and Pat own Gallagher Management. They manage over, I think, 700 plus properties in Rochester.
Almost all scattered site, which is not the easiest lift.
Yep. So those guys manage a ton of properties. So if you want to know about tenants and toilets, everything else, that's going to be next Thursday morning in person. Okay. And
Bob is
then
back as well.
what?
Bob is back as well. I'm not sure if he's going to be at the meeting, but he is back from Florida.
Perfect. He may be there too. And but check it out. You go on the website if you want to go there, take a look at it. And then Thursday night, I think next Thursday night, it's going to be at Da Vinci's. I just want to double check.
Yes, it is the final general meeting at Da Vinci's, and it is a creative finance panel. There's going to be a hard money lender, a broker, and a guy who's replaced his W-2 income over the last 12 months.
Yeah.
So,
and how old is Brett?
oh God, if he's 28, I'd be surprised.
Yeah, there you go.
He's young.
Yeah. So if you're not 28 yet, you'll love him. If you're older than 28, you hate him and love him.
So true too.
I'm actually 28, so what does that make?
There you go. You're perfect. So, and that one's going to be live in person. I think it starts technically 5:30. They're going to speak from 7 to about 7:45, but the networking before and afterwards is sick.
And the pizza.
And the pizza.
And you get to hear me yell at everybody, which is awesome because I do that every meeting.
Yeah, Andy goes there stressed and comes out relaxed. He just releases it. It's great.
That's it.
So, and then the following Thursday night, we do this meeting live and in person. It's going to be at Ferrari's Pizza. We usually get there around 6:30, 6:45. Starts at 7 o'clock, and he runs to about 8:30. We'll do some networking before, networking afterwards. That one's going to be live. And again, it's Ferrari's Pizza, Piano Works Mall, and that is in East Rochester. Go to the website, take a look at it, and so you'll be able to get all the information you need. Because the morning ones we kind of do for people who don't really have to work, and then we want to make sure to be respectful of people's times. And everybody can make these meetings. A lot of people are trying to transition out of their jobs. And some people can't make this meeting, so we make sure to do an evening meeting for people. Okay. And what's great, the one live and in person, we never know what the heck we're going to talk about either. I do have some general idea of what we want to talk about, but we also go over deals just like we do on this one right here.
Yep.
Okay, my brain is like today.
So you're good, buddy.
Is there a change? Excuse me, Joe. Is there a change? I thought we may have even discussed this last meeting. Is there a change in venue of one of the regular
next month, July, we're moving
July.
to Eagle Vale. We're going to have the ballroom because we're just, it's too cramped. We were going to go to the yacht club, and then they kept raising the price before we even got there. We were like, okay, we want to make sure this and this and this is lined up. Oh, well, that's going to be an extra $200. Okay, well, we want the bartender upstairs in the room with us so that we don't have people going downstairs and missing stuff. Oh, well, that's going to be an extra $600. Really? Okay, no, we're done. So we bailed on them and went to Eagle Vale.
That's not good. Yacht Club is 5 minutes away from me.
Sorry, man. Sorry, man. I live in Pulteneyville, so everything's a heck of a drive. So whatever. For me, it all just blends in.
Imagine Andy, Putneyville. Besides, make enough money where you get a driver to drive you.
I don't think that's how that works.
So and by the way, so everybody make sure everyone gets on the FREIA website. Check it out to see what's going on. Okay. Because it's a great thing. We actually outgrew Ferrari's Pizza. It got to the point where there weren't enough seats. Okay.
It's actually been that way almost since the second meeting there. We just delayed on finding a new home.
Exactly. So, and the networking alone that's going on there right now, and just people collaborating, it's fantastic. Fantastic. All right. And what am I forgetting here? We're going to get started here in about actually, I want to go over do some haves and wants, but I want to do it real quick. Is there anybody new that has never been on here? And please don't be shy. Any new people on here?
Leslie's a new guy.
No,
What's
I
up,
think
buddy?
Leslie's been on.
I
As
know.
far
I'm
as the Zoom
teasing.
part,
I'm
new for
piling
this
him up
part,
because I never see his face.
Yeah. Wait, well, who's speaking?
As far as the Zoom part, I'm new for this, but I've met you guys in person. But as far as the Zoom part, yeah, I'm new.
All right. Tell everybody quick, 15 seconds. Name.
Yeah, likewise
and
with
what-
me
and
too.
what-
This is Quinn.
All right. So whoever's new, just quick 15 seconds. Name and what you're looking to do in real estate. Let us,
All right, I go by Jones. Basically just trying to get myself established in the the new real estate realm, and I'm looking to make purchases, buy, rent, flip, basically everything that's available that I'm have access to, and anyone can try to help me as well. And when I get up there, I can be able to return the services for everyone as well. That's the whole goal. Make sure everyone is financially stable. So that's my goal.
perfect. Go ahead, Quinn.
So yeah, so my name is Quinn
Oop, we lost you.
Walton. I'm been doing this particularly wholesaling. All right, can you hear me now?
Yep, you're
Yep.
good. You just
All right,
just a
all
little
right.
little spotty.
All right, sorry about that. I'm actually in Spot Coffee, and yeah, I'm actually here in Spot Coffee, and the internet here is terrible. But yeah, my name is Quinn here, and my name is Quinn, and I've been I'm gonna. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're
Yes.
Just
right.
admit you're in McDonald's, man. It's okay.
I had to move to a different spot. But yeah, I've been doing so I've been doing this real estate for about I want to say since December. I started off just kind of researching stuff on YouTube, and I just pretty much been wholesaling, but now I'm in, after speaking with Joe and speaking with Scott and a few other people here, I'm looking to expand and scale my business. I'm looking to do a lot of fix and flips, a lot of rental properties. I met Joe at one of the other events out at Ferrari. So this will be my first Zoom meeting. But going forward, I will be going ahead and joining you guys a little bit more because, like I said, I want to scale my business and just get a little bit more knowledge in this real estate game, man. So I can go ahead and expand.
awesome. Welcome, man.
Perfect.
Appreciate you being here.
And I'm new in a weird way. I'm transitioning from Tom Pasco to Ann Pasco. And actually, my better half is Ann Pasco.
Hello. Hi,
Hello.
Hi, guys.
I'm new to this game here and joining my husband in our endeavor.
Awesome.
And I'm just coming up the learning curve here and doing everything I can to go on the free website. Reading a book that Tom already read, a lot of information there, and going and attending meetings, asking
Perfect.
a lot of questions, networking. So I'm very excited about this and very interested in getting going here, finding our first property.
Great.
Go
Welcome.
team.
Perfect.
It's the way to do it.
Perfect. And anyone else?
Yes. Hi, good morning. My name is Shaquana. So I am initially, my first interest in real estate was to flip homes. So I've been doing a lot of research and just information about that. What I didn't know is after attending a couple of these meetings, I didn't know how big Joe was with wholesaling. So actually, so he actually is pretty modest because he doesn't really talk a lot about what he does or really kind of give a lot of information. So after coming to a few meetings, I actually learned from Mary Jane and her husband Leon that Joe is really, really good at wholesaling and he has a lot of information and he's moved on to commercial properties and there's a lot of things I really didn't know.
All you gotta do
I
is
guess
come
at
to the
first.
Aries meeting. Come to the
Yeah,
Aries
yeah. So
meeting.
I often come and I also feel like, there's a lot you kind of brush over, but you don't really like put yourself out there like
Ask
that.
questions. Ask questions, and
Yeah,
you know
right.
what? You can call.
Just be on Joe's speed dial.
Yeah. So I know
Good.
now, and I'm like, okay,
Call
so
me
I'm not asking the
anytime.
right questions then.
Call me
So
anytime.
yes, of course. So I'm actually looking to get more information on wholesaling because I'm trying to hustle up some quick money to work on flips. And mostly just here to kind of get more information just about wholesaling and kind of how you go about that process and things like that.
Okay. Well, we can go ahead and Shaquana, because I'm not the best. I'll try to put my number in the chat box for you, and if not, I'll give it to everybody over here. Because
Oh, yes, of course.
so
Thank
we'll
you.
do that. But yeah, we'll do what we can for you. And this is a great thing about this group. We will answer our phones. I promise you.
Well, good.
So, all right, welcome. And
Thank you.
who else? Everybody's good? All right, we're gonna do real fast here because we want to get into some stuff over here. We're gonna do what's called haves and wants. Let us know what the heck you're looking for. If you're not going to tell us, I promise you, and I say this every week, we will not call you because we don't know. Okay. And I'll start out real quick. I'm looking for commercial residential properties. I'm also doing storage facilities. I'm also doing apartment complexes, and I'm also doing single family houses and up. So we run the whole entire gamut. We'll do commercial, residential, and industrial. We look for in this area here in Rochester and also outside the area.
Did you close yet?
I think we're closing within the next 10 days. And then I'm also looking at another apartment complex next week, which is off market, which I'm really excited about. Oh my God. Okay, I gotta calm down. So that, and then so we're doing that. We're also closing on a storage facility within the next 17 days. I think we're closing on that one too.
Yes, I know about that one.
Oh yeah,
Scott's using my money.
Yeah, we're using Andy's money. Love it. Okay.
That was the one that we talked about last week at the meeting. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And that one over there, what I found out yesterday, I almost fell off my chair with excitement, but we're going to go over that if we want to a little bit later on. But we're doing haves and wants. We're not here to talk about me. I want to over about everybody else.
Dan's here. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Dan.
Yeah, I've been absent because I've had meetings on Thursdays. I haven't been able to come, so I'd like to come as often as I can. I'm looking to buy primarily Maplewood and 19th Ward are the areas I like best. I like working class neighborhoods. I like 2s, 3s. I'll go to 4. If I can find the right deal in a small apartment unit, I do that too. So I'm looking. I have some money to spend, and I haven't found a good place to spend it.
I'm going to help you, Dan, spend that money.
Okay.
Call me because I'm working on 4 doubles in the Maplewood area right now.
I got certain segments I like better than others, so we'll talk.
Perfect. See, everybody.
Dan, would you be
Sorry.
Sorry.
Just so that everybody knows. See, that's a perfect example. I never would have known Dan was looking in the Maplewood area, and he never would have known that I'm actually working on some properties over there.
Dan, would you be able to post your information in the chat box just so that way if I find any properties via wholesale, I can kind of let you know?
Of course. Joe, you put your, I'm looking, Joe. I used to have your number. I don't see it anymore. You got mine?
What do you mean used to?
I have it. I got a new phone. I don't think it's ready.
I'm just kidding. I'll put it out.
Joe, I got you covered, buddy.
Oh, thank you.
The 802, right?
802-7052. Please.
Repeat that again.
It's up in the chat box.
7052, but it's on the chat box.
Got it. I see it. Thank you.
Andy is my savior, and I need a t-shirt with his face on it to say
whatever. How about you just go listen to my podcast and then leave a nice review?
You popped up. I found you. You were still in my.
Oh.
I had you misspelled. That's why.
All right, no problem. All right, and Andy, I will do that. And who else? Haves and wants. Quick.
Yeah, I'll go, guys. My name's Gabriel, and I'm looking for self-storage facilities. That's all I do. Anywhere in the U.S., even in our own backyard or your own backyard, here in the Rochester, New York area. Any size, size doesn't matter because I primarily wholesale them. That's my core, but I believe that there's a buyer out there for every size. Most people have their criteria for 10,000 square feet and above, but I just believe that there's a buyer for everything and everyone, as Scott and I have been talking about in depth this week. So but I will put my name and contact information in the chat box as well. But yeah, so again, self-storage anywhere in the United States. So thank you guys. Thank you.
Perfect. By the way, is Scott on yet?
No,
Oh, I
he's
just
not.
just checking. Just checking.
Jerry hopped in. Jerry Stewart hopped in. That's JD. I don't know why it says Jerry. JD, what are you doing? Are you driving to work?
Sorry, he's on mute. Sorry.
There he is. I see him. Where are you? Oh my God, the beard, bro.
He's in a bad spot.
Yeah, he's in a bad spot.
All right. So, JD, we can't hear you. So, oh, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
All right. Okay. Andy Pro too. All right. So, who else? Have wants?
Installing the campus too. What's up,
All right.
everybody?
Who else says have wants?
Really? I took off the mute.
There you go. You're all right.
All right. Who else says have wants?
Who's looking to buy something from Joe? Put it out there.
I don't know if anybody's interested in anything retail price, but this is a rehab that I have for sale now. If anybody's interested, let me know. I don't expect you guys to be interested in that.
Put it on the MLS.
What's the
It
price?
is.
If you want to,
I'm listing it for $139.9, but I'm really hoping to get something a little more.
how much? I mean, how many rooms and baths?
It's a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath on Chapin Street.
Oh, in the city.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, if you can put that in the chat. I don't know if you want to list the address. I want to look at the pictures right now. Actually, I may be possibly interested.
Okay, I'll put it in the chat.
Okay.
Perfect. Who else? Let us know what you want. You can't
Tom-
read minds.
Tom and Ann looking for single family, multifamily homes, residential in west of the river, north of probably Emerson City area. There's some good and bad areas in those areas, but definitely interested in that area. And we are first time, we don't own a property right now. So looking to break that streak.
Okay. It's good. That's good to know. Anyone else? Everyone's got their Christmas wish. All right. I guess we're good to go here. By the way, I have to say this. I almost forgot. Anything we talk about, make sure you talk to your accountant and make sure you talk to your attorney. Okay. We try to give the best of our advice. Remember, what may work for some of us may not work for you, and vice versa. We want to make sure that you definitely follow up with, with some advice from your own people. Okay. Basically, your attorney and your accountant. Okay. Very important. Andy, did I forget anything else?
I don't think so. I think you're good.
All
You could
right.
refill my coffee for me.
Oh,
I have-
man.
I wanted to chime in
Oh,
Go ahead.
for my so for my just having the knowledge for starting to fix and flip, but looking to get more information about the wholesale, like I just said earlier. Joe I had a few questions just about like the contracts and how it usually works when you're working with like let's say for example a seller that's going into foreclosure and you're going in to try to wholesale that single family home. The contracts, do you typically have like a sample of contracts that you have that you use, or do you work with like an attorney or someone to kind of create those contracts for you and the terms and things? How do you usually go about it?
Well, those are actually very good questions. And the fun thing about it is that what a lot of people don't realize is that when you find somebody who's in distress, I don't care if you're a wholesaler, if you're a flipper, or if you do buy and holds. Okay. I don't care if it's tax foreclosure, mortgage, whatever the heck it is, whatever kind of foreclosure they're going into. you have to fill out a different purchase offer than a regular purchase offer. Now, I always use a regular purchase offer, the same ones that the attorneys use, and I always let them know that. And by the way, I never use the word contract. Never, ever use the word contract. It's purchase offer. It's a much softer way of saying something. Okay.
Yeah, I get some.
So when it comes to somebody who's going in any type of foreclosure, you got to use a HEPTA purchase offer, Home Equity Theft Protection Act purchase offer. Okay, because you don't want to go in like you're trying to be a piranha and you're trying to take advantage of somebody. That Home Equity Theft Protection Act purchase offer protects the owner or the seller, gives them a way out, lets them know, hey, listen, we can cancel this contract. Okay. Because technically, if you go in and use a regular purchase offer, you can get in a lot of trouble. Okay. Now, no matter what, I don't care if you use a regular purchase offer. And we actually talked about this, I think, 2 weeks ago at the live Aries meeting that we were doing at Ferrari's Pizza. No matter what, and even like I just put in a purchase offer. We just bought a house about a week ago. I'm putting in another purchase offer, and I even did it on the storage facility unit that I put the purchase offer in yesterday. I use these words every single time. I put in Joe LaBarbera and/or Assigns as LLC to be formed. I just do that. And most people know this. For those of you who don't, I don't just put and/or Assigns, because what it does is it raises huge red flags. The attorneys start freaking out. Oh my God, this guy's going to sell a property underneath you. He's going to make $100,000. You don't know who's going to buy. You don't know if they're going to be able to close it. Blah 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 blah. But when I put as LLC, limited liability corporation, to be formed, they're like, oh, he's just going to put her in LLC. Or some people are like, well, why does it say this? Because I have multiple LLCs, and I've said this to other attorneys, and they're like, you know better than I do, being an attorney, I'm not going to put this in my own name. I'm buying this with my partner. I don't know if we're going to use one of our existing LLCs, or we may end up putting this into its own separate LLC. Boom, I squash it right there. I'm like, oh, okay, not a problem. Okay, so that is a major. That is something you really need to do. I've had some people do purchase offers, not even put in and/or Assigns. Okay. So, so you got to make sure to put that in there prior to everybody signing it and prior to the attorney actually approving the purchase offer. Okay, Shaquana?
So I'd like to add a little bit to the discussion about the LLC and the Assigns. We're finding in the brokerage business, these seminar people that go to the seminars about wholesaling, and they're making a bad name for wholesalers because they're entering into properties they can't purchase.
Exactly.
And in the market we're in now, you really can't do that, because most often we have multiple choices, and you've got to be straight. Because I had a guy with two of my agents in my own office. He entered the same proof of funds, the same exact proof of funds for 3 different properties.
Yep.
And I said, the guy can't, and he entered them in all in the same week. And I said, the guy can't buy any of them.
Yeah. Now,
and you got to be careful.
Yeah, you're right, Dan. And, and Suquana, and everybody else when I say, like for me, I know I can close on a property. Okay. Now, when I started doing the wholesaling and I didn't have any money, I knew that when I got that deal, it was not a maybe. I knew that deal was at a price where I knew I'd be able to get rid of it, no problem. You need to be respectful to the seller, and especially to the real estate agent. Now, I have real estate agents like just like Dan, what you're talking about. They'll know sometimes I'll wholesale it out. At the same time, they also know that no matter what, I'll close on it, regardless. And if you have that reputation of not being able to close on it, that you're shooting yourself in the foot. Go get an application for a job, because you're going to need it. Okay. You will need it. And so reputation is key. And, and eventually, I don't care if you're a wholesaler, you're a flipper, or if you do, buy and hold, you have a great reputation, you're going to get real estate agents that are going to call you. And I don't care if you're doing commercial, residential. Okay. Doesn't matter. When just about 5 minutes into the Zoom meeting, my phone buzzed, and it was a real estate agent calling me on a storage facility. I'm like, oh, I can't answer it. so, so, but the point is that he knows that our buying, he knows our reputation. So you got to build a really good reputation. So be careful on the wholesaling part, because I see people do that, and then all of a sudden, because you're also putting the seller, and I don't care if you're buying to hold it, you're putting the seller in a really bad position, because they're seeing you as the light at the end of the tunnel. And then next thing you know, you say, well, I can't buy it. And I've seen that happen time and time and time.
We see a flood of these whenever there's a seminar regarding wholesaling, and you have people who really don't know what they're doing out there trying to do the business.
Yes. And that's how come this group is key, because we're local, where other people are coming in from out of town, and they're telling you, they're focusing, they're giving you a generalization of what's going on. Here we get into the meat and potatoes of what's really happening and what's going on here locally. Okay.
Okay. So as far as the contract, because I feel like I kind of got my question a little lost in there. The question was, the question was about the time. So you said you used the initial purchase offer,
yes.
but you said you just put the assignee as your LLC instead of putting it under.
Yeah, I put my name on there, Joe LaBarbera, and/or assigns as LLC to be formed. And I apologize for going off. It's just that
You're okay.
A lot of people.
I know it was more in there. That was good information. Yes.
Some people don't even understand that. And some people, I don't care if you're not even wholesaling. If you're a flipper and you find a property and you want to be able to say, hey, you know what? I want to be able to put it into an LLC, which you're going to. You don't just put your name on there. You're going to have to put in, as LLC to be formed or assigned. And it gives you that option to be able to do that.
Because I'm just wondering if I need to consult an attorney prior to starting the process of wholesaling, or if it's something that, as far as obtaining a contract for it.
It's, I can say,
like you said, there's a lot of information out there where there are people that don't really have a lot of knowledge on it and are giving you information about how they go about doing it, and it might not necessarily be the correct way.
Some attorneys don't understand wholesaling. They're investor-friendly wholesalers, investor-friendly real estate attorneys here. Steve Peterson is one of them within the group. And but as far as the contracts or purchase offers, we can send those to. I send those to people all the time. It's no big deal.
Okay, I'm gonna put in my information in the chat box.
And by the way, there's 7 pages. I don't recommend this, even though I've done an ungodly amount of deals. I've never once, nor will I ever read every single word of that contract. I don't even want to even fathom the seed of the thought of doing that. I have no interest in it. Okay. And I'm not saying you shouldn't. That's just me. Okay. But yeah, so do and then you can go over the purchase offer once you get it. And by the way, I'm not telling people to not read the purchase offer. Joe said don't read it. If you want to read it, read it. I just have no interest in doing it. Okay.
I just needed some sample contracts initially, just to kind of get
just call me. Just call me and we can talk. We'll go over some other stuff too.
Okay.
All right. Did we answer that question or did I?
Yeah, you answered it. No, you answered it.
All right, perfect. So look, we kind of keep this, we don't really ever have a set agenda. I've got some things because I've had people call me and want to talk about some stuff, and I kind of say, okay, if these people are calling me about, maybe other people are. But if people have questions, you're more than welcome to ask. And if you want to go over something or a deal or whatever, we'll do the best of our ability to go over it. So feel free to interject. Okay, I don't want to be the one talking the whole entire time. Okay? I want to be able to share with everybody. I want everybody to share with each other. But just to keep in mind some of the things that I made some notes over here. Obviously we're halfway through the year. Okay, I think there's what do we got? Like 28 Saturdays till the end of the year, or whatever the heck it is there, something like that. I know also the state of the market, and then some of the people obviously, basically figuring out where you can put your time. A lot of people get involved in real estate to either have a job or trying to get to the next level. And a lot of them are like, okay, I'm doing this and this and this. And it's just like we have to have that conversation about where do you spend, where do you got to have your high level times where you do high level type of production. Okay. Things like that. And then also, some perspective on the market, because for those of all of us, I mean, a lot of people getting frustrated with what's been going on. There's low levels of inventory, and it's been tough finding properties. We're still finding them. The guy in front of you turns over a rock, and I'm coming up behind you. I'm turning over that same rock. Okay. So it's just and a lot of people are getting frustrated. I've been hearing a lot of different stuff. I talked to a lady yesterday, which I'll talk about that if we actually get a chance. And we kind of brought some things into perspective. And by the time we got off the phone call, she was like, I was like, wow, she's actually doing a heck of a lot better than what she thought she was. Okay. But before we get into some of that, anybody have any questions, anything that they want to go over, anything you want to talk about, please feel free. That's the great thing about this group here.
Joe, can I talk about something real quick?
Yeah, absolutely, Gabe.
Going on with me and as it relates to real estate and stuff like that the past couple of weeks or so. And if I want to apologize ahead of time because of my lack of experience and stuff like that. If I'm wrong, please tell me, but this is what Scott and I have been talking about the past couple of days and what's going on. So I'm gonna kind of specify to my storage, stuff that I do, but I want to see how it relates to the real estate in general. But going back, like let's say last quarter, maybe the second to last quarter of last year, people were kept on saying how, the market's going to turn because rates are going up, cap rates are going up, and whatever, and what happens in the market when values go down, and people say it's going to be a great year for storage. And again, I'm just relating this to storage right now, and it's going to be a great year for all this, for storage as values go, change and stuff like that. But they didn't, and it was a prediction, and people didn't know as to when it was going to happen exactly. Nobody ever knows. I get that. That's fine. But, the thing of it is, though, is that what I've been saying is that, our buy box usually is around, as far as a per square foot, is between $30 and $40 a square foot to find it that way. But I've been finding for the past 3 months now, actually more than that, maybe 6 months, I would say, is that the market hasn't caught up yet to people to understand the values, and the market, not to people in general to understand the values, but it just hasn't caught up yet, I guess, And what I'm finding is that the average, and this is wholesaling too, by the way, the average per square foot that we're finding, I got one in a contract right now in Texas, it's $52 a square foot. The one I did a couple of days ago, another one in Pennsylvania, $42 a square foot, not far from 40, but whatever. The point I'm trying to make is that as far as a wholesaler's perspective is concerned, I think that it's like revenue. We have to take, if I get a facility under contract for, let's say, $50 a square foot, I'd rather take less of a fee, find a buyer, take less of a fee for now until the market turns, and the values go down to where, we can tell people and then go from there. Because I thought about it, like I'm beating my head, like trying to find deals, and they're out there. I'm not saying they're not out there, but for the majority of time that I call people, they're still in that the values are between $50, maybe $60 range, and this is not on the MLS, by the way. This is all off market. So I think and then it's kind of a question too, to see what everyone thinks about this, but again, take less of a fee and and keep on finding those deals, or when I want to finally buy one, pay a little bit more. The market's going to turn, let's say 2 years when it stabilizes, hopefully, get more of an equity out of it. But I think what I'm trying to say is that everyone needs to adapt as the market changes. I'll give you an example. When I had the restaurant business, January, February were the slowest months. It was a bastard of a slow time, and we still made revenue, but we didn't make that much. Hey, it's the way it goes. So people are still saying, oh, I got to make money. I got to make money. We can still make the money the whole way through. No, you can't. And people, I think, sometimes don't realize that they need to change and adapt and sort of change things to correct, to make corrections in themselves for the market as it happens, as I'm finding now. And Scott finally, I think I think for Scott, the light bulb finally went on yesterday when he's like, you know what? I think you're right. We should start changing. I'm like, freaking, I've been telling for 3 months now. So it's kind of funny because he finally realized that. And with respect to him, he just didn't really realize it. But I told him, I'm like, I'm in the trenches. I'm the one making the calls, talking to people, getting a feel for what's going on, getting the pulse of people, and I just want to say that, it's okay to take a little bit less, but still make deals for now, because it'll kind of even itself up. Like you say, Joe, it ebbs and flows. Well, this is the ebb right now, so to speak. So, I'm still finding those deals. And I said, Scott, from now on, if I get one, if it's $45 a square foot, $50 a square foot, let's get under contract if we can. If the numbers work, we got 45 days to do due diligence. Let's see if we can make the numbers work. Find a buyer and see what we can do, take less of a fee and end it, So, and the market will change. Maybe the last quarter of this year. I don't know. Nobody knows. But, but that's just what I think is going on right now. And I apologize ahead of time if I'm wrong, but that's what I've been experiencing and kind of putting 2 and 2 together. So that's what I want to just bring up.
So you're good, buddy.
Yeah.
No, I'd like to chime in a little bit on what I said. It related to the multiple family market. People out there hoping to make deals. Honestly, the only way you're going to make deals is off market right now, because there's so many people that are looking for small income properties. It's an auction every time it hits the market. Now, if you're selling, you should put it on the market. If you're buying, you want to try and find, like I made a couple of owner finance deals in the last couple of years, and neither of them hit the market. So that is really, that's the niche you got to look for if you want to get really good deals. And you certainly can't expect buying at an auction and turning it, to the greater fool, to somebody else. That's going to be a hard thing to turn.
Yeah.
I've been looking for flips, and there's not enough meat on the bone unless you're going to hold on to them. If you want to turn them, boy, it's awful hard to hit those, because people, I don't do my own work, so I got to hire that out. I can't compete with a guy that's buying himself a job. And you got to know going in that that's the deal. So I've written offers, haven't gotten them because somebody else who's buying themselves a job is bidding on the same property.
Well, here's the thing too, Dan, and you make a great point, and so does Gabe. And a friend of mine has a great saying: grateful over greedy. Okay. And sometimes you have to make a little bit less. Some thousands is better than no thousands. Okay. And for me, I'm all about facts and numbers. Okay. And I'll be very honest with you. Last week, I wholesaled out a property. We were going to keep it. We could have closed on it. No problem. But we had a guy who's like, Joe, I need a project. We're like, okay. So I wanted to make 10 grand. We just gotten it under contract, and he calls back and he goes, okay, you know what? I can pay, it was $2,000 less. It was $8,000. And now I'm splitting this with another guy that I'm doing this with. So instead of us making $5 grand each, we're going to make $4,000. I'm grateful over greedy. Am I going to go crazy over $2,000? No, because I can move upward and onward. And, and to Gabe's point and to Dan's point is that, yes, you sometimes make a little bit less, but you don't want to put yourself in a position where, all of a sudden you only, instead of getting a home run, you may get to third base. But be careful. Say, well, I may get to first base. You may not get to first base. If you buy something that's crazy high, I want to make sure. That's me. Okay. I don't want to take those chances. Plus, I don't want to put that seller in that position. He's trusting me to get him out of his situation, and I need to make sure I can get it at that price. If I can't,
I've seen people make this mistake. I made an offer on a little ranch in Henrietta that had a fire and was completely gutted. I had my contractor go in. It was going to be 60 to 65 to fix. Probably worth about 150 done. It was under 1,000 square feet. Someone paid 100,000 for it. The math doesn't work for me.
You walk away. You're going to do that,
Absolutely.
and some of the stuff I will pay a little bit more. I've done that, just like with Gabe. Gabe went from $30 to $40 a square foot to $50, $55 a square foot. And Gabe, I've been doing the exact same thing. But this doesn't matter if you're doing storage or if you're doing residential properties. If you know on the back end that there is enough of a spread on that property to be able to make, and a perfect example is we're closing on a storage facility. And that one over there, we're buying for, I think, I don't know, 360, 375. I don't even remember right now, whatever. But, it wasn't a screaming deal up front. It was a good deal. But analyzing the property, I mean, I knew it was worth around 5 to 6. But what I found out yesterday to really make that work, because whether it be now for this right here, it gives us options. We want to wholesale it out. And I'll tell you the numbers after. It gives us the option to wholesale it out, or we can buy and hold it for a while and then, build on it, and either that or just raise rents and cash flow on it. So we have all three possibilities. So what I found out yesterday is that if we expand on it, we put 300,000 into this property, it will be worth just a little over $1.2 million. Okay. So it gives us that flexibility to be able to buy and hold, or we can expand on it and flip it down the road if we want to wholesale it out. I want all those options. I want to know I can get the heck out of there one way or another. Okay. So, and in the residential side, okay. Yes, I'm paying, sometimes I pay a little bit more, sometimes, but like Dan said, the best deals are going to be off market. They just are. And their deals are still out there. We ended up picking up, a 2-family over there, by Brooks Avenue, 19th Ward. Newer roof, vinyl sided, vinyl windows. It needed some work. The guy just wanted to get rid of it. Got it for $75,000.
That's good.
Separate basement, separate attics, close to Brooks Avenue. It's a fantastic deal. So now for us, we're like, we can keep it, we can wholesale it out, or we can put some, we can fix it, we can flip it. Because we know we'll sell for right around 150. No problem. It gives us that option. And then the other problem is that like Gabe, with you trying to find all, because, and by the way, Gabe deals in, he doesn't deal in like 50, 100,000. He deals in 200, 300, 500, $700,000 properties. Some of them $1 million. He's got more zeros, but the fundamentals are all still the same, and what you got to be careful of, especially right now, people are, yes, you go up a little bit more, but be careful because, if the market does change, and it's going to change, you don't want to be caught with that hot potato. If you're thinking, okay, instead of a home run, I'll get to third base, the market changes, you may get to second base, but it still leaves you that flexibility to be able to do something. Okay. That way you're not stuck holding a hot potato like, oh my God, I got this property and I overpaid for it. And because I see that happen, because those are the people that are going to call us. You don't want to be the one having to make that phone call. You want to be the one receiving that phone call. Okay. And Pete, anyone else want to add on to this stuff? We want to hear from everybody else. Because who else has had to change things going on? Nobody?
Joe, not to add in that regard, but the thing that Ann and I are talking while everyone's talking, the name of this game is people, is get in contact, connections. I frankly, I don't want to buy the property after you find it. I got to beat you to finding it.
Well, we also wholesale too. So, connect with wholesalers too.
The point being, you need to be well connected with a lot of different, people that play this game. And So that's the major takeaway we're taking.
Yeah, and and a lot of times too, I was having a conversation a couple of weeks ago at our meeting that we did in at Ferrari's for that Thursday night, and I told those guys, so like, I actually had one guy at the general meeting come up to me and say, "Hey, you haven't called me," and I go, "When's the last time you even called me?" I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago. That was like 5,000 phone calls ago. I go, you gotta be like that rash, that itch. Oh yeah, there he is. He's calling again. And you're not bothering people. And I want to be respectful. Everybody wants to call everybody, but it's impossible. You gotta be able to remind people, let people know. And I do that with real estate agents all the time, I'll do that with agents, like me, to remind people, I'll call up a real estate agent. I said, "Hey, I got a lot of cash right now. I'd rather spend it with you, but you haven't called me, so I'm spending with other agents, but I'd rather spend it with you." And sometimes I'll even leave that on their voicemail. I say, "Call me, let me know what tech you have." Okay. So I have that conversation with them. Okay. Because I don't want to have a conversation with real estate. "Hey, listen, I'm a buyer. I got cash. Call me." It's the same freaking conversation. Be different. Set yourself apart and then keep calling them. And say, "By the way, I'm going to call you back, but I'm only going to call you for about 15 seconds, just as a reminder, letting you know I'm here because I know you're busy." Because their phones ring off the hook, and you don't want to be like, "Oh God, this guy's going to call me. He's going to tell me he wants to buy properties. He's going to keep me on the phone for like 5 or 10 minutes. I don't have that kind of time." Whereas if they know, "Hey, I'm going to call you for exactly 12 to 15-second phone call. Hey, it's Joe. My 12 to 15 seconds starts right now. I got cash. Don't forget about me. What do you got?" And they usually will start to laugh and they'll talk, and that's how they'll start to remember you. Okay, that's what I do. You can do it a different way. Okay, and a lot of other investors, I let them know. They let me know what tech they're buying. They'll call a text. That's a great thing about this group. Has about 300 people in this group, so people call each other all the time. So that's how come, like, when we do the haves and wants, you do that for a reason. It's not just because just something to do. We need to know, and especially there's a ton of wholesalers in the group, and they want to get rid of their properties. So don't be shy. Anyone else want to add on to this? I want to know what everybody else has been doing, or what's been going on. If they've been raising their prices, they've been getting frustrated. Let us know here.
Well, Joe, like that's how me and you met. I don't know if you, so when was this? I'm gonna say about a month ago. I actually spoke with, what was his name? Joe, lives in Florida. He was living here and then he moved to Florida.
Rancher.
Right. So, I actually reached out to him first because I had 2 properties, the one on Capitol Street. And, he wasn't buying in that area at the time, but he was like, he recommended you. And that's how me and you connected. And, I think I wanted for the property, the 2 properties that I had, it was 2 multi-families. And one of them, I think I wanted like $40K for both of them, and I had them both under contract for like 32. But after speaking with you and Scott, you was like, "No, well, this is it wasn't a good deal for what I was trying to sell it for." So I went back to the seller. I was able to lower the asking. I was able to get it a little bit cheaper for the original asking price. I think I ended up getting it for like 28. And he was like, "Quinn, based off of the situation and the repairs and the rehabs, for what I wanted, it just wasn't worth it." But like you said, sometimes quality over greediness. I said, "You know what?" He was like, "Quinn, the most you can get probably this, just a couple of thousand." I was fine with that. I was fine with that because I got in a situation where I was just stuck. I was just stuck with it for a while. I had a few buyers come in, and a lot of them said, it's a good property, but for what I was asking for, it just didn't make sense at the time. Long story short, Joe basically, he saved me. I got it for, I only made a couple thousand off of it, which was fine. I was totally fine with that. And that was just off the one property. Now the other property, like I said, it was two of them. Then the other property, I want to say like the next day after I spoke with Joe, I got another buyer just called me out the blue. Hey, listen, I see that you're getting rid of this property for, 40K, because I still had it on a couple of websites on Facebook, on a couple of groups on Facebook. So this guy called me up, and this time I actually got what I wanted. I think I ended up making like 12K offer or something like that. I think we're supposed to be closing next week on that. So, just off of what, like Joe said, sometimes it's best to take just anything, the less amount versus being greedy, which, I totally understand. Even if I would have made 500 off that, I wouldn't care, because I didn't want to just hold on to it. Then, so, everything Joe is saying, I definitely agree. And, Joe, since I've spoken to you, I actually just closed on 4 more deals last week.
Awesome.
Yep. So, just off of speaking with Joe, and, I was actually, me and him had a great conversation. He's like, Quinn, the main thing is you got to keep pushing, Can't take your foot off the gas. And that's one thing that I've done, after our last conversation. And like I said, I just closed on these 4 deals last week. So yeah, I just wanted to give my little input on that.
Yeah. And by the way, for those of you who don't know, the 2 properties that Quinn had, multiple other investors had those same 2 properties. They were brought to me, I think, 3 or 4 times. And I don't know how many other investors went through those properties. Right? And then Quinn did something. He was very honest and very respectful to the owner. Said, hey, listen, you know what? Here's what's going on. Here's what's happening to come down on the price. But he did it in a manner and where he didn't put the seller in a bad position. He was very honest, very straightforward about that. Okay. And what he did, by the way, is very, very difficult to do. Okay. So you can't just go up and say, well, listen, I can't sell it, blah, blah, blah. I need to, he didn't do it that way. And if you meet Quinn, he's very professional. That's one thing I noticed immediately in his language, the way he's able to speak and the way he's able to come across to people. That is a really big plus, and that helped him immensely. And to be able to go back to that seller. And by the way, the other property that he sold, I wouldn't have been able to wholesale that property out of that price. I have to bow to you. I got to bow to you, man, because I was like, I didn't even want to even take the project. I'm like, no way. Okay, and he did it. So again, perfect example. What may not work for me may work for somebody else.
Right.
But that is, I am just, so that's great.
Yeah, and it's funny because the buyer that actually bought it from me, she was new in town, and she actually she's originally from Rochester, but I think she moved down south and she came back here and she said, hey, listen, I'm looking to purchase a ton of homes. A ton of properties, single, multi-families. I guess she runs a daycare, and she, from my understanding, she's getting like 70K a month. So she basically was like, anything that you have. So I just started dishing everything that I have. And that's how I was able to get the other 4 deals that I just closed with her last week as well. So, so that was a good thing.
And just out of curiosity, those other 4 deals, you wholesaled them out to her.
Yes.
Now, quick question: did you find her, or did she? No, she found you, right?
Well, see, I was working with the realtor. And then the realtor called me up. She said, "Hey, listen." She was like, "Do you have anything?" She was like, "Do you have anything available right now?" She was like, "I have a buyer right now that's looking to purchase, multiple properties. She don't care what it is." And this is the day after me and you spoke. And I said, "Bing!" I said, "Oh yeah, it's perfect." I sent her everything that I had. So now, how many created a relationship. And that's the one thing I can also say. Um, having relationships with realtors, I think that is key because they always have people that want to buy and sell. So what I've been doing is I just been kind of networking with multiple realtors and a couple of different brokers. And I send them out an email like every day, every other day, just to kind of say, hey, listen, this is what I'm looking for. And just kind of and what I try to do is I tend to try to keep my name and keep my presence with them. So when stuff pops up, they say, oh, you know what? Quinn was just asking about this property in this area. And so, I try to keep a constant flow of communication so that, they would be able to think of me whenever someone wants to buy or sell their property.
Yeah. And Quinn, how often are you calling these real estate agents?
I speak with them daily. I just, like this one guy, I have this mortgage guy. He's a loan officer, and I also train people as well. I'm a physical trainer as well. So, I got him on my team right now. So every morning I'll check on him to see how he's doing as far as his workout plan. And, I say, hey, listen, if anybody comes, anybody.
Oh, I think you,
relationships alone, and just good personal relationships with folks, they'll be able to reach out to you whenever you have whenever they come across a good deal.
So right now, Quinn, which is a perfect testament to be able, which is a great example. So right now you've got 6 deals in the works, right?
Correct.
Now, now you've done, first of all, how long ago did you start doing, how long did you start to do the real estate here?
December.
December. So we're about 7 months. How many deals total? Are you just the 6 right now, or is there other ones here and there?
Well, just 6 right now. But I do have, just last night, I had someone call me last night, and actually one of the realtors has said that they have 2 other properties that, asked me if I was interested in those. So probably, when I get off speaking with you guys, I'm probably going to go ahead and take a look at those and see if it's worth my time.
So you've been doing this for about going into your 7th month. You've got
Correct.
6 deals, and you're going to be talking to 2 more.
Correct.
Have you ever done any wholesaling prior to December?
No, not at all.
And
I learned pretty much everything on YouTube. And then, like I said, after I spoke with you, you kind of gave me a boost of confidence. I mean, just that boost of confidence, just speaking with someone who's been doing this, was able to help me move forward and motivate me.
Yeah. Now, I appreciate that. Believe me, I had very little to do with that because I wasn't the one doing what you were doing. We spent probably what, 10, 15 minutes on the phone. That's nothing out of 24 hours, okay, in 6 months. The thing is, and I appreciate that, at the same time, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And you're also communicating and you're also reaching out to people. Right?
Absolutely.
So their deals are being, those 2 deals that you're calling on today, you didn't find them, they found you.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Yeah. Not bad.
And again, like I said, I think that's key because just off the relationships alone, and a lot of times I'll call people I'll call some realtors, or I'll go ahead and I'll do some cold calling to some properties that are vacant, and even if these guys are not selling their properties, they'll say, you know what, I'll go ahead and I'm gonna keep your information just in case I do want to go ahead and sell these properties. And then I'll just reach out to them, and typically what I'll try to do is I'll see, I'll tap into these people's lives, I'll tap into these people's lives and see exactly what they have going on and where I can help them in the aspect of their lives or whatever, even if it's just a friendly conversation, because you never know what people might be going through or what they may have on, what they got going on, and you can be a great asset. And I learned that, this is last 7 months, just having that personal relationship that you gain with folks and you gain their trust, they'll be willing to work with you.
Yeah. And Quinn, as far as for what you're doing, you work. You're a personal trainer.
Yes.
All right. How many hours a week are you working right now as a personal trainer?
Well, whenever somebody needs me. So, I mean, I'm pretty much doing this full time right now. So
Okay.
if someone say, hey, Quinn, I need your help. Can you help me with this? Or can you help me with that? Or can you give me, I'll go ahead and help. I have no problem. And then on top of that, I do that. And I do that off the love that I have for other people and the love that I have for working. I mean, I used to charge people for that, for my service, but now I understand the aspect of, if I help you, maybe you can help me down in the line. It's not all about receiving, it's about giving as well. And I don't expect nothing back. But a lot of times what I've learned is if you put stuff out there in the universe, it will come back sooner or later.
That is the key with this group. That's 100%. Everybody, you gotta remember, I'm not getting paid to do this. Okay. And a lot of us here have started. People think, oh, we had money. No, not even close. You knew some of our backgrounds. You're like, how the heck did this guy? Why are we even listening to this guy? Okay. So it's about giving back. It's about connecting and being able to help each other out. And, Scott says it all the time, rising tides raises all ships. That's exactly the same thing here. And then some, and it's, and the great thing is that, is it typical for someone to get started in 6 months and all of a sudden they got 6 deals about to possibly be 8? No, it's not. But the thing is that it is possible. That's the crazy thing. I didn't happen for me. I can tell you that much. I have to bow to you too, Quinn. For that one. For what you're doing and how you're prioritizing everything in regards to your schedule and everything else. Because I remember you were telling me when we talked. I mean, you're doing phenomenal. And for everybody here, some people are like, well, I'm not wholesaling. I want to buy and hold, and I want to flip. What he's doing, you can do for every part of real estate. Okay. And I mean, some of the stuff that I've gotten through wholesaling, I haven't wholesaled that. I've bought and hold it. I just closed on a property a few weeks ago in Greece. Okay. That came to us. We're going to wholesale it out. I ended up holding it. We have that option. Okay. So understand. So now for Quinn, eventually he's going to find something that's going to be a fantastic deal. And most people are like, well, I don't have any money to buy it. Well, there's a ton of money out there to buy it. He'll find something that's going to be a fantastic deal there are hard money lenders in this group. There are tons of people who can help, because that's how I did it. I wasn't able to go to a bank. I went to a hard money lender that I met, and then it kind of changed my perspective in regards to investing. So right now, Quinn, I'm excited for Quinn, but remember, what you're doing, you'll make money. You won't create wealth.
Absolutely.
You're making money because you're starting over and over and over and over again. At the same time, you're still putting yourself in a really good position because, and same thing, it doesn't matter if you're flipping, whatever, there's ebbs and flows, there's ebbs and flows, just like Gabe, as far as for doing doing storage facilities. It happened.
So there's a question in the chat from JD. He would like to know about the process of finding and acquiring real estate with minimal capital available. So I think that ties in really well with the conversation that just kind of moved into that hard money lending bucket.
Yeah, well, let me ask the group. What are some of you people doing to minimize your expenses and finding properties? I know what I'm doing, but I want to know from everybody else. Don't be shy.
Are you talking about generating leads or how? What do you mean exactly?
Yeah, well, I don't know if he was talking. I don't know if he was talking about finding properties, finding leads, probably. Oh, Andy. Did we lose Andy? Hello?
I think he's still connected, but away.
Oh, okay. All right. So if he's talking about trying to find properties of minimal effort, I tell people, first of all, go on Facebook. It's free. Let everybody and your grandmother know that you're looking to buy properties. Okay. Spend $20, get business cards. Okay. You're going to have to let not only people on Facebook know, but you don't just do it once. You got to constantly be doing it over and over again. Okay. And the problem is, when you're talking to people, most people have in their minds, and I've said this before, and it was true back then, it's true today, it'll be true tomorrow. When you talk to people, you tell people, hey, listen, all of a sudden I'm in real estate now. I'm looking to buy a house. You tell that to your friends, you tell it to people who know nothing about real estate. In their minds, they're thinking, okay, they want, you want to buy a $200,000 house with a white picket fence that's in perfect condition for 190 grand. Okay. That is not what we're looking for. So the problem is that when you're out there and you got to let as many people as possible know that you're buying real estate, you have to have a different conversation. When you tell people, look, I'm looking to buy real estate, it'll sit in the front of their brain for about 30 seconds. They'll go to the middle, and then a couple hours later, it'll go in the back, and they'll forget about it. It's a done deal. They won't even think about it. Okay. And I always have the exact same I have the exact same conversation with people. I only use different words. Okay. Because whenever I talk to people, especially when I was starting out, I learned that I needed to be different, because if you have the exact same language as everybody else, most other people don't have what you want, and you're going to have what they want, which is not what you want. I wanted what I wanted, which is to make money and to be in a much better position. So for me, whenever I talk to people, I don't tell them, hey, listen, you find a house, call me. If you know someone looking to sell, call me. They're not going to do that. And a lot of people, when I go up and say, hey, listen, I'm getting involved in real estate, let me know if you know somebody who's looking to sell a property, not just any property. And I've had people say to me, hey, you know what, Joe? Nobody I know owns a house. Everybody I know rents. That's all I know. All I know is renters. I wouldn't be able to refer you. Great. Who do you know? Who do you know? Who do you know? Who do you know? Okay. So whenever you tell me, hey, listen, these people are renting a property, I say, great. Who do you know has a crap ass landlord? Who do you know is a tenant and the landlord's not fixing their property? Who do you know is a tenant and they're moving out? Who do you know is a tenant and the landlord lives out of state? Who do you know is a tenant and the landlord is sick and tired of being a landlord? Just sick and tired of being sick and tired or dealing with stuff. Who do you know? Who do you know? Who do you know? Okay. Then other people are like, well, Joe, nobody I know rents. Everybody I know, they only own their own properties. Great. Who do you know? Who do you know? Who do you know? Who do you know that just lost their job and needs to sell their house? Who do you know just got a promotion and wants to sell their house? Who do you know just got a promotion and has to move out of state? Who do you know that basically just inherited a house and wants to get rid of it? Who do you know has a house that actually has a tarp on it? Even better yet, who do you know has a house with an overflowing toilet? Because when I see that, it's like smelling a bouquet of roses to me. Who do you know? Who do you know? Who do you know? So I paint a picture. Okay. And then all of a sudden, it sticks in their mind a heck of a lot more than me saying, hey, call me if you know somebody looking to sell a house. I've literally had people say to me, hey, I get my phone ring. Hey, Joe, I just drove by a house with a tarp on the roof and I thought of you. Okay. And they're like, really? Okay, great. Where is it? You get an address, here's blah, 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 whatever. And then I remember one guy, he goes, man, I hope it's got an overflowing toilet for you too. And he just started laughing. Okay. So you want to be able to paint that picture. It's not about just going out. It's like calling up a real estate agent saying, hey, my name is Joe. I want to buy a house. Call me. And then not calling them back. Okay. You need to be able to, you got to be able to make an impression. You got to be able to paint a picture. You got to be able to communicate. You got to be able to do that. That's free. When you talk to people, handing people out a business card, put on there, hey, listen, you refer me a house. I'll pay you $500. I'll pay you $1,000. I pay referrals. Let people know. I've let people know I've paid a lot of money for referrals. Okay. We're doing one right now, which we're paying out. Well, this is a commercial deal. He's getting $75,000. Are they all 75,000? No. There's one he's getting 5,000, 3,000, 10,000. Okay. But if people know that you're going to be paying for referrals, they'll call you. Don't do what everybody else is doing. Be different conversations. And it is tough when you get started, because when you get started, like me, I didn't have any money. I had nothing, and back then it was Craigslist was the big thing. So Craigslist was free back then. So I was just all day long, but you have to be able to figure out a way to be able to, to be able to let people know, be able to communicate. Picking up the phone, it's not going to cost you anything. Letting people know on Facebook, letting your friends know, and don't just put it out there once, put it out there a lot. Do something that's going to be able to make people remember. And then call people up. Call other investors, call other real estate agents. When you're at the meeting, get people's phone numbers, start communicating, start talking, because eventually, like with Dan's looking at Maplewood section. I'm working on 4 properties over there right now. Okay. That cost him nothing. Okay. All he did was open up his mouth. Hey, I'm looking into Maplewood. Just like that. Okay. What I want to know what other people are doing for to let other people know that's not costing them a lot of money. Give us some ideas. Listen, if I'm the only one doing this here, I'm gonna, as much as I like less competition, I don't like that people aren't doing stuff. So I need to know, what are some other people doing here?
Well, Joe, in addition to what you're talking about, I mean, does it matter, or that doesn't matter, but I mean, making calls to facility, my area of, making calls to facility owners, even when they say no today, and I, keep calling them and following up with them. They remember me when they want to sell. So that sort of the same thing, isn't it? I guess. I mean,
Yes, it
yeah.
is. Yeah, because it's working for you.
Yeah.
And yes, obviously, you have a whole system set up. But yeah, I mean, Gabe, you're constantly calling people. We're doing the exact same thing too. I mean, I've got people, we send out letters, we do all that stuff. You can write the letter yourself. But for me, I don't have the time to do that. Thank God. That's a whole lot of work. But yes, you can do the phone calls, you can do the follow-ups. But I mean, Gabe, check out there. How long do you wait before you call them back?
3 months.
Okay.
3 to 6 months, depending on when they say 6, I say 3. If they say 8, I say 4. So I always cut it in half.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's obviously the follow-ups, and that's also important too. Sometimes I've seen people, which is crazy. They'll call agents up 3, 4, 5 times. They'll call a guy who owns a property once, and then next thing, oh, he sold it. Why didn't you call him back? I don't know. Oh, I didn't remember you. Funny thing about it is, we're actually we had a guy who called up an owner. It's we're looking at a package deal in Upper Monroe Avenue, going to it next week. And the funny thing about it, which rarely ever happens, he was called a year ago. 1 year. And he told us, he said, listen, if I do decide to sell, I'll call you first. And obviously that was probably thousands of people ago. He actually called. I couldn't believe it. And I'm going to go look at it next week. I don't know if it's going to work or not. It's a $2+ million deal. But that was from making a phone call. Okay. That did not, well, obviously for us, we target, non-owner occupied owners, which you can get the list, or you can go find the list, or you can go buy the list, whichever, and then make the phone calls yourselves. Anybody have questions on that or want to expand on that?
Joe, I know no one else, but it's kind of funny to see that. I mean, I got this lady in New Mexico, and I've been first time I had contact with her was January of last year. At the time, she said she wasn't ready, but she told me, call me every 2 to 3 months. And I have been steadily for the past year until now. Now I'm scheduled to call her next month. I wish I could call her now, but well, actually it is next month. Oh, okay. So we're in June now. So, but the thing is though, she always told me, don't forget about me. I don't want to sell, but when I do sell, I want you to keep calling me and ask me every time, because the day will come when I will sell to you. But again, it's with that follow up, as you said, and creating that relationship as I have with her. But again, just sticking to it with her, um, to let her know. And she might say to others, "Hey, I know this great guy Gabe wants to sell self storage or buy self storage." I mean, and things. That's how it just rolls and develops like that. So I know it's been a year with her, but I actually a year and a half now. But the day will come. She says, "I will sell to you. I promise you that. Just not now, but you better keep on me. Don't forget about me." I'm like, "Oh no, I'm not gonna forget about you." So don't worry about that. So
Yeah, but if you put it in perspective, and obviously this is commercial, but it could still happen with a residential. So let's just say it's taking you a year to do it, right? And each phone call lasts, how long you think each phone call lasts? A couple of minutes to 5 minutes?
but yeah.
Okay. So let's just say you called her once a month, 5 minutes each month. That's 60 minutes. That's 1 hour. Now, in that 1 hour, let's make our minimums or maximums. Let's just say on an assignment fee on that, or your wholesale fee, or your fee for bringing that to the table is going to be $25,000. $20,000 on that type of deal. I mean, first of all, in your opinion, with $20,000, would that be a fair, or would that be below what you think you'd make?
It would, with the size of her facility, Joe, actually, it'll probably closer to 50.
Okay, 50. Now, not a bad situation. So you put that into perspective, it takes you a year to get that 50 versus going to a job 40 hours a week. Now, the problem is waiting that year to get that money. You got to fill in the gap. That's the issue. Okay. At the same time, I see people who get frustrated. And by the way, and the same thing happens with wholesaling. The same thing happens with especially if you're fixing and flipping. And then again, also obviously long term with the buy and holds. With Gabe, if it takes him a year to make, I don't care if he only makes $25,000-$30,000. Okay, he's not going to have that much time. He's not going to travel to it. He's doing it from his house. Okay, so just start to think about that. And when it comes to doing the flips, okay, yes, it's going to be about anywhere between a 4 to 6 month process. But if you're flipping a house and you're making $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, and some people do their own work, some people don't. I don't. So for me, I put that in perspective. How much time do I really have into that property? And then on the wholesaling part, especially when it comes to residential, you're going to make $5,000. You're going to be into it. I don't care if you put in 10 hours. I don't care if you put in 20 hours. Do the math. How long will it take you to make that at your own job? Okay. So, and I know sometimes we talk about bigger projects. Understand, I'm doing a $20,000 house right now, but we're also doing, multi 7-figure deals. So we run the gamut. So don't just think, oh, I don't focus on $20,000 houses. We do, but for me, I think about, and there's deals where I don't want to screw around with, because I'm like, you know what? It's not worth it. It's not worth my time. I'll make more money valuing my time doing something else. I want a high value return on my time. That one where we're making $8,000 on, we literally I was there, literally there. And by the way, I didn't go there with the buyer. I sent my buyer there. I was literally there about 25 minutes. Okay. Is it always that way? No. So please don't think that. Okay. I just want to put things into perspective. Okay. And by the way, anyone want to add on to that? So tying into Gabe's story, this is a because I talked to somebody yesterday who bought an apartment building, her and her husband. They also own a business. And I asked her, I go, how's it going? Because it's very frustrating. And this is over in the Alexander area there in Rochester. Great area. It was a project and a half. And she was like really frustrated. Goes, Joe, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of this, a lot of contractors. It's this, it's that. And it's going to be about a 2-year project. And she's into it for she's already now going in, I think about 7 or 8 months. And I asked her, I go, you know, how much money do you think you're going to make on it? And they're going to do very, very well on it. So I kind of broke things down for her. And so she's like, well, Joe, you know, I'm working in it. I've had to go there and, you know, deal with the tenants. I've actually had to take care of a couple of toilets. I go, oh my God, you know, so she's in the trenches, you know, and I was kidding around. I go, after the toilets, I'll guarantee you don't chew your nails, you know, just to lighten things up a little bit. But, you know, and I sat down and I talked to her. She's had frustrating with all the contractors and everything else, but I say, you got to focus on the reward at the end. And the way we figured it out, I go, the contractors there that you're paying are making anywhere between $30,000 to $50,000 a year. That's what some of these guys are going to be making. But after everything is done, okay, she's going to be averaging, when it's done, we figured it out, 10 grand a week. That's going to be when she goes to sell it. And that's what the end goal is going to be. They're going to flip this bad boy. If they want to hold it, they can hold it. And she's putting in somewhere probably around about 30 hours a week. It's perspective. Okay. So when we broke it down per hour, I go, you make more money than surgeons do. Okay. For this property. And it kind of, because she's in the trenches and I'm looking at it from far away and I'm like, okay, realistically, you're doing a heck of a lot better than you think you are. And because you know, and like with Gabe was going crazy, but you know, like dealing with that lady for, you know, calling her for a year. But in between all that, Gabe also has other things to fill in the gaps. The ones that are getting started or the ones that have a large gap, you know, it is kind of tough, especially if you're doing real estate full time and you don't have a lot of things going on. So you have to have some type of perspective. And I tell everybody, we're only one deal away from making what we need. The problem is, and the game is actually finding the deal. That's going to be the game. So like with Quinn, who's doing all the networking and people getting on, you know, on the Zoom call, and then people also connecting with the meetings. It's very important because that's going to help fill in that gap. That's going to put things into perspective because dealing with all that frustration and everything else going on, especially right now, I mean, if you can survive with what's been going on in real estate now, when the market changes, your business is going to take right off because everything's going to be set for you. You're going to have the connections. You'll have the people to be able to bounce ideas off of. You'll be able to have, you know, if you find something to deal, you'll be able to have the money. If you don't have the money, you'll be able to find people who do have the money, who do want to buy, so you can pass along that deal. So have perspective. There's a lot of frustrated people going on right now because the market is tough. At the same time, if you're finding the deals, great. Don't get comfortable. Okay. Be grateful over greedy. Don't get comfortable. You know, at the same time, you know, get yourself set up so that way, you know, when the ebbs and flows do come, you're still in a really good position. Okay.
Hey, I just wanted to kind of chime in real quick. So I attended a conference last week in Michigan. It was a UWM conference, United Wholesale Mortgage. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with them. But anyways, I attended this conference, and at the conference, one of the things that I took from this conference is the presence of social media. We are currently in a world, we are in a world right now where everything happens on social media. And whether believe it or not, that's just the way the world is going. Um, so right now, just for me going to this conference, I am in the midst of switching my entire Facebook page up. I'm in the midst of switching my Instagram page up because see, the thing is, people don't know. I mean, obviously, if you're like someone like Joe or Scott or, some of the big time, investors around here, folks know who you guys are. Little small folks like me, any other wholesalers out here, people don't know who you are. So I think a strong presence on social media, if you're just advertising yourself, hey, listen, I'm Quinn. I can go ahead and I'll sell your home. I'll buy your home. And the more you do that, people, when somebody wants to, say, because right now I have like over 5,000 something friends on my Facebook page. So what I tend to do is, I plan on switching my old page up, and I'm gonna say, hey, listen, if anybody wants to buy or anybody wants to buy or sell their home, I'm your guy. And I'm gonna go ahead and I plan on being persistent and consistent with this. And sooner or later, one of my friends is gonna say, hey, listen, I'm looking to sell my home, or I have a friend or a family member who's looking to sell their home. So I do believe, you'll probably be the, perfect person for me. And that's just because of the presence that I'm going to be putting out there. And I think that that's key too in the world that we live in. Yeah, word of mouth is good. But again, we are living in a world where social media is key. Again, I got into this, I got into real estate just off of one night. It was like 3 something in the morning, and I was on Instagram, and I seen something that popped up and said, hey, would you like to get into real estate without putting any money down? So that kind of caught my attention right there. So, just from seeing that and going to this conference last week, a light bulb, just popped up, because it's like, hold on, Quinn, you have the platform that you have, you can go ahead and just put your name out there. People will go ahead and reach out to you. You just have to make yourself available. And also, I think another key is just constantly just educating yourself and building a network. So like right now, I'm in Spot Coffee. So I put down, every morning, or the day before, the night before, like last night, I sat down, I said, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna sit here at Spot Coffee from 8:30 to around noon. And during that time, I'm just going to sit there and educate myself, watch YouTube, read books, go ahead and just research stuff online. And at the same time, I'm working on my social media advertisement, because I believe that, you're only going to go as far as you want to. The thing is, we have all the tools right here in front of us, right here on our phone, right here on our laptop. So, folks that are struggling, you have to basically think outside the box to put yourself in position so that folks will know who you are. They'll know what you do. And, like I said, just going to this conference last week, it just really just kind of a light bulb just kind of came on. So, just want to let you folks know, just to constantly, also another thing too, is try to stay positive. Those who you are struggling, when you wake up in the morning, I know every day, we wake up, we're going to go ahead and feel like, this is going to be a lousy day. I'm not going to make any money. But when you have that mindset, you're not going to make no money. One thing that I've been doing to try to stay positive and kind of keep me going, and which is why another reason why I'm starting to get more deals, and also just like I've been building a whole bunch. I've been building up my buyer list, just constantly talking to folks. I've been talking to different, possible sellers. And one thing that I do just constantly staying positive. There's times that I don't feel like talking to everybody on the phone and calling folks up. But you know what keeps me positive? The fact that I woke up this morning.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to go ahead and smile every single day. I'm going to go ahead and I'll walk around just cheesing for no reason. And what it is for a reason, because of the fact that I was able to wake up this morning. And a lot of folks didn't, So again, one thing, just to tell you folks that are struggling out there, just to kind of stay positive, and also your social media. I know folks don't like to, like me for a while, I never did posts on, like I would post like my family, my wife, my kids here and there, but I really I didn't have like that strong, and I'm a retired football player. So I have a big fan base, just off the fact that, I'm a big sports athlete here in the town, here in Rochester. And so with that being said, like I said, I'm going to use my platform to kind of expand what I want to do. And that's what we have to do. I just wanted to chime in and, kind of let you folks know, the ones that are struggling, try to go ahead and switch it up. Try to put yourself out there. Social media, again, we're living in a world where that's the way the world is. I mean, I've been stuck where, I've been stuck the past couple of years where I don't want to, I don't like to post. I don't want to put myself, because I've always been a humble type of guy. But now I know if I want to go ahead and get to where I want to be, I got to put myself out there.
Yeah.
Got to put myself out there. If you don't put yourself out there, folks will not know who you are. Folks will not know who you are if you don't put yourself out there.
You're right, and that's how come you've already gotten 6, and hopefully you'll have 8 by today.
Hey, Quinn.
Yes, sir.
You might want to, if you're looking to put yourself out there and keep networking in FREIA, give me a call, because we're looking for a couple of bodies to fill officer roles. We need a treasurer and we need a secretary shortly. So if you want to keep doing stuff and you want to contribute and participate a little bit and get in front of more people, might be the way to do it.
I definitely will. And one thing about me and Joe kind of spoke about this a while ago. I've been a leader and a captain on every single level as far as football goes. Because again, like I said, I'm a retired football player, and I know a lot of times, some folks may just need to hear, someone, again, I just started this 7 months ago. Sometimes you may want to hear someone else's side of the story, and I think that'll help, help an individual boost their confidence as far as going out there. And like I said, just attending this conference last week, I just have a total different mindset. Every single morning I'm waking up now, I'm waking up in a positive. I don't care what happened, what's going on. And one thing too that we have to understand, and last thing I'm gonna say, one thing too that we have to understand, we are the director, we are the actor, we are the producer of our own life. Okay. And we can make edits towards our life. So whatever it is that's causing negativity, or whatever it is that's causing you not to get that deal, remove that out. Add it with something else. You are the editor of your life. And that's one thing that we got to realize. Like, at the end of the day, all this could be gone tomorrow. So my point is, you control your own destiny. You, not your family, not your mom, your dad, your son, your uncle, your kids, nobody, you. So, you got to understand, when you are struggling and whatever it is that's blocking your next blessing, remove it out, add it in with something positive, and, keep going. That'll get you to the next level. Just wanted to say that.
We appreciate that, Quinn. Great words. Appreciate that. What's it called there? Everybody basically get connected to everybody else on it. And Quinn, obviously, got your information up on there. Definitely get connected with Quinn. Okay. And I hate to cut this short, but we are over on our time. And we try to wrap up by 10:30. It's almost 20 to 11. So we probably got to cut this short over here. Definitely get situated for next week's meeting. I appreciate everyone being on here this morning, people participating and really, giving your insights. we're gonna have to cut this short here right now, but I appreciate everybody being on here. Have a great day. Go do real estate. Get on the website, and we'll see everybody next week. All right.
See you guys.
Thanks, everybody. Thank
Take
you.
care.
Great. All right. Bye-bye.